Hey y'all, how's it going? And welcome back to another ThuREADSday. If you are new here, hi, my name is Jasmine. I am an authortuber slash booktuber, and on Thursdays, we talk about all things reading. This week, I gave myself a challenge based on a character flaw that I have. Well, not necessarily a character flaw. Let me explain. So I love reading books, right? And I am also a speed reader. So you must be thinking to yourself, wow, Jasmine, you must go through a lot of books. But I don't. And that is because I am extremely inconsistent with reading books. Just as I am with writing, I am very inconsistent. And obviously consistency is where you find progress. A lot of times it takes me several months to finish a book. The last book that I read, one of my friends started reading it after I started reading it. She finished it before I finished reading it. And by the time that I finished the first book, she was on the third one. So I'm not very consistent with my reading, and I would like to change that. And I'm thinking to myself, where can I find time to read a little bit more? And then that got me thinking. I spend a lot of time on my phone, as most people do in this modern world. I spend a lot of time on my phone, and quite frankly, a lot of time that is spent on my phone is not necessary. It's just me going into a mind fog of nothingness, and I figure, well, maybe I can take some of that time and transfer it over. My hope is that I can take some of the hours that I am spending on my phone and directly correlate that to reading a book. This is going to be a little bit of a tricky challenge, but I am very excited for it. With that being said, though, we are going to have to do a couple of calculations of how I am doing with my phone usage now in order to make a better solid plan of how I'm going to achieve this challenge. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, before I start this experiment, I am going to have somewhat of a control group. And I think the best way that I could mark that is by seeing how many hours I spend on my phone each day and week. I would like to think that I am on my phone a lot less than I think I am, but I have a feeling that it's more. So once I figure out how many hours I am on my phone each week, and subsequently how many, on average, hours I am on my phone each day, then I'll be able to have somewhat of a goal of how many hours I will be able to read. I have already been on my phone for 1 hour and 40 minutes today. It's 10:30. That's insane. I woke up at 7. Half of the time that I've been awake, I've been on my phone. I don't love that. I'm really ashamed of this. So that obviously is not going to work. I spent 20 hours on TikTok this week. I think I need to delete the app again. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Jeez, this is a wake-up call for me. That's like a part-time job. I literally am making watching TikTok my part-time job. That's embarrassing. That is so embarrassing. Well, obviously, I can't read for 7 hours a day because I have a day job. Okay, now that I deleted the app, literally my time on my phone went down by half. So I think that's a better medium. I'm still trying to recover from those statistics on myself. Well, done and over with now. Hi everyone. I am on my not nice camera right now. This is just my phone camera. We'll see how long this actually lasts and if you can even hear me over the motor of my car. So I was going to bring my book and I completely spaced it. I completely forgot about it, and now I'm stuck in a line for the pharmacy, a prime time that I could have been reading rather than just looking on my phone. Since I didn't bring my book and I have my phone, I might as well just take a video talking a little bit more about it. It's been a while since I recorded the very first video, and guys, it is so easy to just doom scroll on your phone. It's crazy. Now my time has been split in half. I have noticed that I've been using my phone a lot less than usual, which is great news. I deleted TikTok even though it was very painful, and I do love the app TikTok. It was just too much time spending on my phone and time that I could easily be spending reading. Generally, I am known to be someone who's not necessarily a slow reader, but I don't pace myself very well when I read, and that's something that I want to change. One thing that actually kind of works worked out in my favor is the bag that I have. I've shown this bag before. This is the bag that I use. It's kind of like one of those like little mini book bags. Honestly, it's a little bit too big for all of the stuff that I have. I definitely still lose stuff in this bag, but it is definitely perfect size to fit even a bigger book inside of there. So I'm going to try and use that to my advantage and always have my book in my bag. I will give you guys an update about how that is all going. My plan is to do this for the next week. So today is Tuesday, and I'm hoping to have all of this done by next Tuesday. All right, I did what I was gonna say, and I did it. Instead of looking through my phone when I was in the line at Albertsons, just grabbing a couple of things for dinner, instead of looking at my phone, I pulled out the book that I am reading. And it's so weird, I was embarrassed. I was really embarrassed to be reading my book because I thought that I looked weird, maybe a little nerdy. I don't know. I overthought the situation. Like when you're in an airport, you never overthink like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna look so weird because everybody's reading books in airports. But not everybody is reading books in grocery stores. So I kind of had a mental block with that I had to get over. But I read a couple of pages worth, which was good headway into the chapter. I guess I didn't realize that would be such a problem for me. Normally I don't really get embarrassed in public, and I feel like that's a very silly reason to get embarrassed by. Maybe I also just felt anxious because the last thing that I wanted was people like coming up to me and asking how the book was, because it was a Star Wars book, and I was like, great. I don't know enough about Star Wars to have a conversation with a stranger about Star Wars, but I did it. And I liked it. I liked the amount of pages that I was able to get through just by simply waiting in a not so very long line in Albertsons. It's going good, I guess. But I still have a long way to go, which means a lot more opportunities to read in public and whenever I would normally just scroll on my phone. I think what is going to be harder is making sure to not doom scroll on my phone while I'm at home. I think it's a little bit easier since I am making an effort to take my book that I am reading with me to public places, that it's going to be a little bit easier for me to choose the book instead of the phone, because otherwise there's no point of me bringing the book. But my book just resides here. It lives here with me. So I feel like I'm going to need to work a little bit harder on making sure that I'm not just wasting time on my phone at home and that I'm actually reading the books that I want to read. All right, day one done. We have read a book in Albertsons. Hooray for us. Hi everybody, I did what I said, like I mentioned in the last video. I feel like I am quite proud of myself for actually doing the thing that I set out to do. That feels very good. The past couple of days, I've been making sure to bring my book that I am currently reading with me to my errands, or basically any place where I could potentially get bored and look at my phone, which has gone pretty good. I took it to Chipotle. I didn't end up reading it because there was no line, so I just kind of had it in my hand. And then I took it to Albertsons again when I was grocery shopping. Now, I was reading it in the middle of the line, and the girl that was taking my groceries, she asked me, oh, what are you reading? Apparently, she is a big reading book fan as well. I know that the first night that I took out my book to read, I was really embarrassed, and I didn't really want to talk to anybody about what I was reading. Kind of just wanted to be left alone. For some reason that day when I went to Albertsons, I felt a little bit more talkative about what the book was about, and then we talked about other books and it was great. I mean, I guess that this is just an update to say that it has gone really well. I got to a third of the way through, so that's good. Hit the second major benchmark in my reading vlogs, and I honestly have to say that I probably wouldn't have gotten there as fast as I am now, just because I am bringing my book wherever I go. So it seems to be, you know, working in my favor. I need to go check and see how much time I'm spending on my phone. All right, let's see how much time I'm actually spending on my phone now. Okay, I got the right thing now. So today it says that I spent 3 hours and 45 minutes on my phone, which apparently is 3 hours and 24 minutes less than I spent yesterday. Not exactly sure what I was doing yesterday. It's saying that I spent more time on Instagram than I did Facebook, just by a smidge. And then the third most used app is my Maps app. I'm not upset about that. I'm especially not upset about it not being 7 hours anymore. That is a huge... I opened up literally 3 hours for me to read. Now, with that being said, I'm not reading for 3 hours. Gotta pace ourselves a little bit here. But overall, for like a halfway point, I'm not disappointed. We'll have to see what the weekend does, because obviously I'll have more time to be on my phone. But overall, not too bad. I don't necessarily have a goal for how much I want to read with my book. I just kind of have a bunch of timestamps. Maybe I could think of a new goal the next time that I check in with you guys of how much I want to get done with this book. I am a third of the way through, so it would be nice if I could get to halfway through soon-ish, so that potentially I could make this book review, not this week, because obviously this video is going to come out this week, but the following week. Okay, I will get back to you in a minute. I did not do what I was supposed to do, which was reading more out in public places, just because I ended up getting busy this weekend. However, I have noticed that I have been spending less time on my phone, and when I am on my phone, I am a little bit more intentional about what I want to do on my phone, which is good. Sometimes I actually do write my stories on my phone. I go through Google Drive and then I just like type up a couple of things. Not often, but occasionally, especially if I'm like super bored. Is this even, can you even see me from here? This lighting is so terrible. Yeah, I'm literally blurry. I'm not exactly sure how this video was supposed to go. I was hoping that I would be a little bit more diligent about it, but alas, I have not been. What is going on? Do you see this? What is that? What are they doing? I'm not exactly sure what I was trying to accomplish with this update, but I wanted to give an honest review about how the weekend went. I think that also, I don't want to go as far as to say the book that I am reading is not what I would usually read and what I usually like, but I am attempting to read something new that I generally don't read, and this is not because the book itself is not good. I just don't think I was the target audience for the book, which is totally valid and completely fine. I am not going to be the target audience for every single fiction book that is to exist. And I went out on a limb to try something new and see if I like it, and it just didn't end up working out for me as good. I don't think that I want to stop reading it. I don't think I want to get to a point where I stop reading it and I just don't end up finishing it. I want to give it a chance. I'm only a third of the way through. I want to give it a proper chance. I'm just struggling with it a little bit. And it's not even that I don't enjoy the character. In fact, I love the main character, and I kind of wish that we got a little bit more from him than the other character that we have going on. It's always a little bit stressful for me whenever I think that I might be disliking a book, because I so desperately want to like the book. I never pick up a book that I think I'm not going to like. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't done that quite yet, except for one time. I did do it one time. Stephanie Meyer's really let me down again, and it wasn't Twilight. So tomorrow, I am going to attempt to try and read during my lunch break instead of looking on my phone. I am going to try to read a little bit more when I can, especially on Tuesday. I think I'm gonna have some more time on Tuesday, and I know I need to finish this up by Wednesday, so. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Hi everybody, welcome to my patio. All right everyone, today is Tuesday. I completely failed this challenge. Utterly and completely failed it. I was still on my phone so much at times that I didn't need to be. I definitely still did some doom scrolling. I also didn't carry my book everywhere with me, which I feel like could be a pretty easy fix that I can integrate into the future. So I want to continue this challenge because I made the realization that I kind of put the bar too high, as I usually do, and I also just did not realize how much social media just affects our modern lives today. Even just like having phones in general, being on our phones, it has become such a norm. It's not easy to just stop doing, especially in a short period of time, like a week. Everything about technology is extremely addicting in some way, shape, or form, whether it's for better or for worse. And I think that I underestimated how much of a hold technology and social media had on me. And I wouldn't even consider myself somebody that is obsessed with social media or has a need for it. I think that that has been a recent development though, because for a long time, it definitely did envelop a huge part of my life and a huge part of my self-confidence. And so I was hoping that this challenge would help me see that I didn't need my phone as often and help me accomplish goals that I've been wanting to accomplish for so long. For so long, I have just wanted to be one of those people that is like a dedicated reader. And I feel like I've never really been able to do that as well. And this challenge has really showed me that this is going to be a marathon, not a sprint. So I have decided to continue on with this challenge. I think that's something that that will be helpful for the future is just making sure to really take my book everywhere. I noticed that there were a lot of times where I did have big waiting periods, like waiting in a line, waiting for food, and I just didn't end up having my book with me. And that would have been a perfect opportunity to try and get a couple of more pages into that book and not be so enveloped in my phone. With that in mind, there are a couple of things that I actually want to make more so of specific goals the next time that I try this. I want to try it for a longer period of time, track my progress, and honestly, I feel like I will never get to the point where I am not using my phone every day, but using it a lot less and using it for very intended purposes makes all the difference for me, and I feel like that's all that I can ask for. I don't think that phones are evil. I wouldn't have my job if technology did not exist. I wouldn't be able to talk to all of you. I think the next thing that I would do is just make sure that I always do have my book on me. If I always have it, then all of these different opportunities are going to come up when I can read in public. All right, so we got longer period of time. We have got make sure to bring the book everywhere, no matter what, no matter where I am going, even if I think, oh, I'm not going to really use this, just always have a book in my bag to read. This is a good test run, and I think that I didn't expect to have this continue on throughout potentially some more videos, but a week was just not enough time. Thank you so much for watching me utterly and completely fail this challenge that I gave myself. Sayonara, you guys, and I will see you next time.